Good evening, everyone. It is March 8th, 2023, almost 11 p.m. on the East Coast. What you're looking at is just a 4-hour chart of the ES. Now, we did have quite a bit of news that came out today. We had ADP in the morning, pre-market. Powell was throughout the day, JOLTS as well, the 10-year, and Beige Book at 2 p.m. So it was quite a news-heavy session. Now, what did we have in terms of actual price action? Well, we opened inside of both Globex's value area and yesterday's range. And when you get something like that, it's unsurprising if it's going to be sloppy action. We also had opened right around yesterday's point of control, which happened to be the weekly point of control shift. And my running theory was that we could get a ramp to weekly VWAP sometime through the day. Now, what was interesting was that we had also had a shift in monthly VWAP. So I was looking for a fade, and maybe this chart's a little clearer now. We had a shift in monthly VWAP around the 89s, and we also had the weekly shift on that. Now, to me, that's what that bid was right off the open. We had a bid right off the open, wherever it was, at 9:30. Boom, we opened and bid right off that weekly point of control. It got a little bit of a move up, I think 5 or 10 points, whatever it was. We fell back in range, and then we turned around, and that's when we had the monthly point of control shift. And that monthly point of control shift was so close to monthly VWAP, which finished the day at 98, but at the time was around 01. On the RTH was at 01. And that's what I was looking for, a fade. So I took a fade off of 01s. And that ended up being around the high of the day. But what I was looking for was for us to eventually get into weekly VWAP, which closed the day around 19s on that full external trading hours. Now, it's important to note that these lows that we're looking at in the 70s, this was the plan coming into the session, was that we were looking for buyers to hold those 3970s. It's a critical area for them. And maybe it's clear if I put it here. Here's the weekly pivot at 75. We hit it to the tick on that news bar, on that JOLTS news bar. And after that, we did hold it and we did ramp above. But this is sort of the key. It is literally the key pivot area of holding this breakout where we've trapped a lot of shorts. Or are we going to come back below, get into the swing low again, and then we can get rid of this old demand zone. We'll have used it up eventually. And we can get back into this December balance, this December-January balance, come back into 38.30, come into the low of the year, get into all that, right? So that all starts with 39.70. Last week, when we made the swing low during the week, I'd said that that low is going to be really important moving forward. Now that we've used up that 75 tap once, I don't really have much faith in it holding again. So what I now want to see is, I don't really want to see much action in those 70s again. If this thing is truly going to clean up the this sell-off we had when the monthly point of control shifted up to whatever it was, 50 quarter, 55, whatever it was, around these 50s. If we want to see a cleanup up to this area, we don't want to see us get into 70s again. This should be we should have expected short covering to occur, which we did have. And we should start getting some genuine buying around here, around that 89 number. And we should be able to move up. We should be able to get into that weekly VWAP around 40.19. We should be able to get into that yearly VWAP around 40.27. And if this thing really has juice tomorrow, we should be able to get up towards 40.50s. I doubt we could get much higher than that. But that's what I'm looking for the upside scenario. Once we get below 39.70s again, if we break this low of the day, I don't really have a lot of faith in this holding. So that's kind of the overall way I'm looking at it. I think we'd come into the February low of the month, which is around 47.5. I think that's where you end up trading. On the lower time frames, there was an auction around there. So anyway, that's how I'm looking at this in general, is at 39.75, which is going to be the key to holding, and really we shouldn't retest it. It should now be a pretty quick move upwards into repairing this shitty sell bar structure. All right. So that's what we had. We had that quick short cover on the news bar. We came down again, and this is a third time really touching it. And then we eventually got that ramp into the close. That's what I was looking for. Tomorrow I'm looking for kind of a quicker move again. So let's go into what I'm looking for tomorrow. Let's take a look at this. If we gap up, I want to be long 95s. It's around the point of control from today. It's also around. It's also today's close, the 4 p.m. close, and 95 3/4 was a level of mine. Now instead, if we open up inside value, which I think is around 81 to 96, something like that, 81 to 96 or 97, I can look it up. 81 to 97 quarter. So if we open up somewhere in this range, 81 to 97 quarter, which honestly is likely. If we open up around there, I'm going to be looking for a run of these highs, a comeback inside that 95% value area, and then hitting this short around 4K before they move down into this lower levels, down into breaching the 70s and getting into this 48 number. And like I said, 48's right by that February low of the month at 47.5. I think we're going to come into that. And to me, this is where you had a huge bid. I can't remember if this was news or whatever it was, but this is an important auction we had right around that February low, which resulted in the ramp above 70s. So this will be where I'm looking to get long. But other than that, I'll be looking to get short. If we gap down, I'll be an aggressive short at 73s. Gap up, and I'll be an aggressive long. After this ugly, 1.5 days or kind of all of the afternoon of Tuesday, Wednesday's glowbacks, and then Thursday or Wednesday's RTH, and now Wednesday night's glowback / Thursday. It's looking ugly in here, so I want to play the edges here. Above there, not much has changed. I want to be short one of these three numbers. Maybe I'll decide on one pre-market tomorrow. I want to be short somewhere here. I want to be. Let me add in a couple numbers here. I want to be short around yearly VWAP. So the external trading hours is trading at 26 3/4. The RTH is at 27.5. The level to me is at 28. That matches up I believe the 87% weekly value area high from last week. Maybe it's the 91%. The standard deviation 1.5. Yeah, I think it is. I want to be short there. I want to be short 50-ish, where we had that monthly point of control shift earlier. So that's what I'm looking for. And I think that'll kind of cap us for the day. I want to be short where we had that point of control shift on the month. I want to be short around yearly VWAP. I want to be short around weekly VWAP. Also this 4017 number, which has been great for the last year. If you don't know that at this point, I don't know what to tell you. I want to be short around 4K after we run the stops here. It's a poor high, I think. And if we gap up, I want to be long. I want to be an aggressive long. Because once we start getting in here, I'm not too interested in trying to find the bid in this fucking shit show. Sorry, excuse the language. I don't want to see us try and find a bid in this. And I would rather just see it hold the close and wrap. Same thing. I don't want to be trying to short somewhere in here. I want to see it hold an offer here and fall off. I want to be long 48s. I want to be long 32s after a run of that overnight low at 25-ish. And I want to be long 39.18. I've been talking about that forever. But anyway, that's how I'm looking at this. It's been somewhat productive for buyers today. It might look like crap, but the fact that we held 70s multiple times, that's productive. However, tomorrow I don't want to see us back down there. Really, I don't want to see us below about 80. I want to see us over 80. I want to see us start moving up. So that's how I'm going to be trading it. Hope that makes sense. 8.5 minute video. Good God. Hope that makes sense. We're going to have some updates to this pre-market, I'm sure of it. I'll post those to Twitter. Other than that, have a great night and trade safe.